Welcome back, folks. This is TD Farm again from Lincoln Village. It's One Man Media, and once again, the my application just cut me off right at the time I started to talk about one of the very personal issue of my life. It's very difficult to talk about it, but uh, after a very, very careful consideration, yes, I decided I must. That's a must. Talk about this issue. Probably, probably just briefly. Um, you know, regardless of the doubts I have in my mind or in my whole life up to now, I still believe motherhood is the most sacred love between human beings, between human beings, between a mother and a son, a daughter. Uh, I think I rank mother's love way, way above love between a man and a woman, or we can say even the love of marriage. So that's why I say it's very, very painful for me to endure, uh, you know, that kind of vicious attack from the hidden dirty beings. Try to use my mother's love to control me. Um, it's very important related to even my belief, my faith, or even the faith of Vietnam, or related to a very, very uh, high high ranking politics. So that's why I say it doesn't matter regardless of how painful I am, or um, it doesn't matter what kind of the consequences I have to face after I share this story. I still have to do it because indeed, mother's love is sacred, important. But I just cannot let it, or cannot let the hidden dirty beings, to use it, to use the mother's love, my mother's love, to control me, and maybe, probably, in their opinions, they thought it could be good for me, and even I'm 100% sure that they convinced my mother and my whole estranged family that it could be good for me. Um, so that's why I say that the coordination and the cooperation behind my back is huge. Is huge. So That's why, back to Einstein quote about religion and science. He say religion without science is blame. Sorry, is blind, and science without religion is lame. And for my situation regarding to my mother, I I must say that it doesn't matter how blind she was and how damaging she was to my career. I still, I still, I did kneel down in front of her casket to say sorry, to say sorry. And can you imagine? Can you imagine how the hidden dirty beings, I can say that, transform me, personally transform me from an engineer, you know, try to rush back from work to do the mm, massage for my mother's need at the time, because she got a problem with her knee. So you know that's why I say from a man, from an engineer, try to rush from work back to his mother to do massaging um, on my mother's knee, to a man that somehow couldn't dare to face her at the time, at the time she was on her death bed. I try, I have to emphasize, I try to keep me cool and calm to share this story because I don't want anything like related to, uh, I don't want my emotion to affect uh, what I'm, you know, sharing and talking about right now. And even at the time she was hospitalized at Stanford. So at that time, only me and two other sisters around her. And now you can go back to the sisters tweet and Trang to confirm at that time when she was hospitalized at the Stanford University, who who took care of her. So that's why I say I just couldn't imagine how a man very close and loved his mother like that became a man that couldn't dare to come back to face his mother at his mother's deathbed. The most important reason I can say that because of the way the hidden dirty beings try to frame me, and because of her blindness, I didn't want to face her at the time She was passing away because just for the tick of a second, if I couldn't hold my emotion or I couldn't stand, to see her pain, it could change the whole thing, the whole perspective of my life, and change a lot of, what's gonna come next. So that's why I say it is too important, especially for the last few years. For the last few years, when I sorted out everything and try to say that, keep in my mind, just try my best to mitigate the situation. Meaning what? Mitigate the situation, meaning that you just cannot let even the mother's love, interfere with your faith, your belief, and everything related to your belief and the politics behind it. So I don't know what else to share about it, but I just want to share the one fact, one real story. So right at the time, right at the time we call the Vietnamese in the Vietnamese tradition, Vietnamese and Chinese tradition, we call the Giao Thừa. It meaning that that's start